Hello and welcome to Deep Cuts the Game, the movie trivia podcast where I give my three contestants three different movies and they try to come up with the most random, obscure, or minor actors from those films. The deeper the cut, the more points they get. I'm your host, Jeff Penn, and with me as always, the boy who is still crying after that horse got trapped in the mud in the never-ending story, my co-host, Alex Young. Welcome to the show, Alex. How are you?
Who ever got over that?
I mean, I was even gonna call you Atreyu, but I was like, nah, that's too deep. Did those two kids ever do anything else?
The kids from Neverending Story?
Yeah, like the kid who was in the story and the kid reading the story.
I'll tell you something about the movie, Jeff. I saw it one time on TV when I still lived in Pickering. So it was like before I started school. And I snuck into my parents' room to watch it, and I regretted it. I was so sad. I also thought it was the longest movie they'd ever made.
I'm assuming both, like, they're still just in the book. Like, they never got out, and that's why they haven't been in anything else.
I just told you it's been like 31 years since I've seen it. I don't know, man.
I'm not asking for you. I'm just giving you my opinion. I don't need yours. What's going on?
Nothing. I'm just like, I spent the whole day digging my car out from the snow that we've had so much of.
That's right, because you got to go to work tomorrow.
I do have to go to work tomorrow, and it took me more than an hour just to brush the snow off my car. And I want to preface it with, it's not like I have a super big car. I don't have a stretch limo with that deep cuts money. Just the car, no driver for it. I drive it myself. It's my commuter, but I could have the status of it, but I just have to drive myself. No, but it took forever because they plow my parking lot, but they don't really clear it. Like, they clear a path so you can drive. You essentially have to like dig through an entire snowbank to do it. And it's less than ideal, plus brushing all the snow off. But it's still better than being out in the country where I grew up on the snow belt. And I think, is Bolton on the snow belt? Did you get a lot of snow when you were a kid, Jeff?
Dude, you want to talk about a long time ago? You're talking about when I lived in Bolton 30 plus years ago.
I feel like those memories are still good though, right? Like those ones take the longest to go away.
Assuming there was a lot of snow, but also I was just much smaller. So it may have just seemed like more snow.
Did you get a lot of... Like, did you have that thing where you listen to the radio and see if your bus is canceled?
Yeah, for sure.
Is that still a thing that they do?
I assume so, but also I think you can just type in whatever your school district is. Like, if you're in Durham, like me, you just go like DDSB, school cancellation.
Online, hey? That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's all pretty automated now, Alex. The internet.
I assumed it would be, but like, I don't have kids. I don't know the process.
And I think most of the schools probably even have like their own Twitter and Instagram accounts. So they are probably posting there at the exact same time. Most schools probably have social media managers.
That's I know. Because I did a thing when I was a kid where I knew we were going to have a really snowy day. So I recorded on cassette all the bus cancellations for the day from like the local station. And I think I only managed to pull it off maybe 2 times.
Oh, where you would trick your parents and play it again?
I could trick my mom. Because it was like you had to wait for a day where it was snowy enough that it was believable, but not so snowy that it actually got canceled. And I'll be honest, I don't know if my mom was just nice and she like let me get away with it because I was largely a pretty good kid, or if I actually pulled off the greatest scam in childhood history.
That is pretty ballsy. I don't think
pretty
I would
good.
have even tried that.
And you got to get up early. You got to start the tape like before your mom even gets up. There was a whole thing. I was pretty proud of it. I was really pleased about it. All these years later.
Well, Alex, we have 2. I don't know. I was gonna make like a snow pun, but I got nothing. I got nothing. They're both warm-blooded. That's all I can say. Returning with us, and she just gave me the mid, like, oh, that was not even. She was with us. What? The big Christmas special, right, Alex? When I put the boots to her in the Christmas special.
Yeah, you did.
Crystal Overland, welcome back to the show. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me back.
We love that energy, Crystal.
Yeah. Listen, it's my bedtime. Get what you're going to get.
Hey, Crystal, I'm glad you're back because I literally did think of this last week. And because one of the movies Alex gave us when we played the game was Elf. And there's the famous scene in Elf when he's down in the mailroom and the guy's drinking coffee, but he's putting booze in it. And we've already seen Will Ferrell, Buddy the Elf, try coffee at this point, and he doesn't like coffee. It doesn't taste good. He spits it out and he's like, ooh, syrup and coffee. I've never thought of that before. So the guy gives him his booze and he pours it in the coffee and then drinks it. we understand that wouldn't make coffee taste any better, right? Like unless he's drinking, I don't know,
Baileys or something.
Baileys or something. But I don't think that guy's drinking Baileys. I think that guy's drinking like whiskey or something, right?
Yeah, I think he doesn't say. I thought he said.
I don't think he doesn't say. He just says, "Oh, that's syrup," and the guy's kind of like, "Oh." So I just think I don't know.
Kahlua.
You know me, Kahlua. I mean,
in a flask.
Yes. Well, Crystal, we're glad you're here.
Snaps.
And I'm glad you're joining us when we have a very special guest with us tonight.
Me too.
She put up a call on Facebook that she was looking to go into podcasts, which, I mean, she's here now, so I think she may be regretting that she put that out there in the world. So our guest today is a Canadian media personality, writer, and pop culture expert with a deep history in gaming and geek culture. You may know her from Ed and Red's Night Party, her in-depth media critiques, or her insightful takes on video games and representation in the industry. She is Liana Kerzner, and I would like to welcome her to Deep Cuts the Game. Liana, welcome to the show.
Hello. I'm not sure about warm-blooded. I am a ginger. And I traumatize people with the Never-Ending Story all the time. So that's an awesome movie.
Not the movie, or just your Never-Ending Story?
Well, that's the thing about being a kid in the 80s, right? That the movies were dark, like Transformers, the movie, the Never-Ending Story. We're like, this is nostalgia. And then we show them to other people and like, this is the worst, most depressing thing I've ever seen. And it's like, you're not wrong, but it was the 80s.
Yep. Yeah. Hey, we were Gen X. We grew up rough and tumble, and like one of my favorite movies is Watership Down, where a bunch of rabbits get killed. So
yeah, that The Secret of Nim.
The Secret of Nim. Yeah, so many rats and mice die in that. It's horrible.
Yeah,
but yeah, we loved it. Now you're here with us on a movie trivia game show podcast, and when I asked you what your favorite movies were, you gave me E.T. and Rocky.
The original Rocky. Yep.
And I was like, there's not many people in these movies. I don't know if I can use them in the game. And then you came to me the other day with Labyrinth.
And
I was like, there's two people in that movie if you don't count the puppeteers, right? Like it's Jennifer Connelly and David Bowie.
I just rewatched Baron Munchausen over the weekend as well. There are people in that.
Huge cast.
That's a huge cast, but also
there are more people in Labyrinth than you expect.
I was going to say you would have been better off taking, and I watched this with my kids, not recently, but in a while, but it always reminds me of Labyrinth, is Elmo and Grouchland, which is like a Sesame Street movie where Elmo goes to Grouchland, but it's got Mandy Patinkin and Vanessa Williams in it. And I was like, that's a pretty good cast.
Don't say Grouchland like that's a place we know about.
I'm just...
Yeah.
Where the hell's Grouchland, man?
My problem with these formats is when people ask me questions, I'm honest. And I like weird stuff. And so I used to say Star Wars, but that's just so people judge you for that now because Star Wars has gotten so diluted. So, like Star Wars Episode 4 is my favorite Star Wars, and that used to be controversial. Now it's like, oh no, you're a purist. Yeah. The original 79 Superman film is another one I really like.
That was on our Deep Cuts like one episode ago, because our guest on that one also had limited movie knowledge. So I just gave him Superman because he said it was one of his favorite movies. He said Superman, and I had to ask him, like, Christopher Reeve or other? And he's like, Reeve. And I was like, oh.
See, the movies I like to watch are weird movies, like, The Green Knight and The Fountain and things like that. Never like Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. And you don't make friends saying you like those movies. So it's like, okay, what's some ones other people have seen?
Yeah. I think you make circles. We should do just a night of A24 movies, Jeff. You can pick your 3 favorite, and we'll just do those.
Everything Everywhere All at Once is fire.
Very deep cast.
Yeah, it's actually, I think we've done that on the game, if I'm not mistaken. So that one's not bad. So what's going on with you, Liana? Where can people find you other than this podcast? I'm sure you have something more important than this.
Yeah, I do. Well, importance is a relative term,
Okay.
but I do a weekly radio show and podcast called It's Not Therapy. It's on Saga 960 AM in the Toronto area. It's everywhere you get your podcast. That's such a cliche, but it's mostly true. On every Thursday night, mostly when I'm not preempted by sports ball games. And then I do YouTube content on my YouTube channel about men's issues, and then we have a thing called Two Women Talking, where we've been doing a deep dive into the A Court of Thorn and Roses book series.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and then I do Wellness Wednesdays on my YouTube channel as well. I'm really big on mental health, possibly because I grew up on 80s movies and it like just scarred us for life. We think the never-ending story is wholesome. So yeah, no, but that's pretty much what I do. I'm a peer counselor in day job, specializing in the intersection of trauma and neurodivergence. So if you want to know what that is, that's a longer conversation. I'll cut myself off.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us tonight for, I think, what's going to be an interesting game of deep cuts. So the first thing we do, though, is I've got a movie in my brain, and I'm going to ask my three contestants to try to think of what movie am I thinking of. So I'm going to go with Crystal first, just so she can show you how it's done. Crystal, what movie am I thinking of?
Well, once again, I did not prepare for this question.
There's no preparing for it.
I just forgot. I always forget this part. But I'm looking at a Frank the Bunny mask to my left here on my wall. So
going Donnie Darko.
I'm going Donnie Darko.
All right. That's a weird movie. That's pretty good. Liana, what movie am I thinking of?
Well, I understand that men frequently think about the Roman Empire, so I'll say Gladiator.
Good answer.
Solid.
Every day, I'm just thinking about it.
Every day, the Roman Empire.
Alex, what movie am I thinking of?
Are you thinking of the 2025 action rom-com, The Gorge?
No, I'm not, Alex.
That's too bad.
I'm actually thinking of Bride of Chucky.
Of course.
Okay.
Why not? I mean, I think it ties in well. So, we got two horror movies. Crystal, I'm going with you. Do you want to go first, second, or third?
I want to go second.
Crystal is going second.
Please and thank you.
Alex, I know what spot you're going to take, so I'm not even going to go to you. I'm going to go, Liana. Where'd you like to go, first or third?
First, get it over with.
Woo. Wow, cool. All right, Alex, that puts you in the 3 spot. So now I'm going to tell you what the 3 movies are that we're playing, and you can try to write down some names, see what you got. Funny enough, from 1977, Star Wars: A New Hope.
Oh, shit.
So that's a good one. Now, I hope these movies are weird enough for you. I think they're pretty weird, and then you would have been a right age, I think. So 1991, Hook.
Oh my God.
And then from 1999, and Alex is always talking about making sure you get your movies on physical media. And this is one of those movies you should make sure you have on physical, because I don't think it's streaming anywhere. 1999, Dogma.
You're right.
Oh,
it is not
boy.
streaming anywhere.
But I think it is coming back out. They're trying to figure out a way to get it out on physical media again. So take a moment, write down some names while we hear a word from our sponsors. Movie buffs and collectors, this one's for you. MoviePosters.com offers an incredible selection of posters for every taste, from obscure indies to your blockbuster favorites.
Want a poster for The Longest Yard, the good one, or the Adam Sandler one?
They've got both.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Willy Wonka, or just Wonka?
They have all options in a variety of sizes.
Go to MoviePosters.com and use the promo code DEEPCUTS15 to get 15% off your next order.
All right, we're back. All right, Nana, you are on the clock. What is your first and hopefully your deepest cut?
Okay. I don't know the actor's name, but there's a guy in Hook who's also in the modern Avatar: The Last Airbender live action. And that's the first guy that came to mind. The guy with the red and black hair.
Oh, Rufio, right?
Yep.
Rufio.
Yeah.
His name is Dante Bosco.
Okay.
You know what's funny that I did not have Avatar written down for him at all. I wrote down "But I'm a Cheerleader" with Natasha Lyonne. I don't
I've not
remember
seen that.
No, me
Hook-
neither. But that was like one of his most known 4 things.
Hook is an underrated movie, and I recommend that to It was panned at the time, but it was great.
It's a super deep cut because I honestly while he's got a fairly big part in the movie, I didn't think anyone would either know his name or anything else he was in. So he's worth 15 points out of 20. So well done.
Great start.
Well done.
Okay.
Crystal, you are on the clock, Crystal. Crystal, what's your deep cut?
Well,
Crystal, when she's like, oi.
I have some guesses.
Okay. You're gonna start with the guesses. That's always a strong thing.
I don't know. I might save them. It's just
you might want to save the guesses for later. But
yeah. This is so hard.
It's your first guess.
I know.
And you've seen Dogma like 2,000 times.
They're so shallow, Alex. They're very shallow cuts. I'm just gonna go with God herself, Alanis Morissette.
Alanis
That's a
Morissette.
good one.
There's nothing wrong with that. She's literally got no lines in the movie, so
Yep.
Wow.
She's worth 9 points.
Okay.
Because she's also really not on screen all that often in that film. So 9 points for Crystal. Well done. Alex, you get 2 deep cuts. Your first and your second.
So I'm going to take 2...
These could be really obscure Star Wars ones that I
they are. Down. So I'm wondering, do I save them for later and take some others off the board? Nah, I'll use them now. Wedge Antilles in the first Star Wars is Dennis Lawson. And he might actually be credited as a different character because he's like fake Wedge, whatever. Anyway, I met him at Fan Expo a while ago, and he's really nice.
Making me look people up.
You have to look him up. It's Dennis Lawson. He's in 4 of the movies, man. He's in 5 of the movies.
What character is he playing?
Wedge Antilles.
Oh, Dennis Lawson. Oh, okay. Yeah. You know what? I didn't write him down because he just didn't look interesting enough to me. So I'm not going to give you
Wedge.
I'm not going to give you the 20 points for that one.
Just because then.
No. So Dennis Lawson, I'm going to give you 14 points for that, Alex.
What? You had to look it up.
I did, but I didn't have to look it up. It's just the problem is I didn't bother writing him down because I didn't think anyone would go with him.
That's thin. Wow. All right. I bet you're going to have to look up this one too. R2-D2's played by Kenny Baker.
No, I don't have to look him up. And he's only worth 7. He's only worth 7 points.
Why? He's in other things.
He's in a ton of things. Just nobody knows what he looks like.
Yeah, and everybody knows he's Kenny Baker. And he's also, if you go to IMDb,
man. Yeah.
He's literally listed 7th.
This is a flawed scoring system on Star Wars, sir.
Well,
he's not on screen for any whatever. All right, that's fine.
Okay.
Moving on.
All right, Crystal, what's your second deep cut?
It's me again. I'm gonna take a guess. Just because it's Kevin Smith and he often just puts his buddies in films, and I can't remember if he's in this one, but I'm gonna guess that he is. Walt Flanagan.
Walt Flanagan. Yep. He's worth 12 points. Yeah, I honestly don't remember his part in it, but he's definitely in it. So 12 points for Walt Flanagan from Comic Book Guys, right? Is he which one's Walt? Is he he's not the bearded guy, is he?
No, he's not.
Okay, no, I know who that is. All right, Liana, we are back to you. You get 2 in a row here. You had a very good start with Dante Bosco as Rufio in Hook.
Now I'm curious about the scale on Star Wars because I agree this is kind of BS. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go with Dave Prowse, the guy, not the voice of Darth Vader, the guy in the suit for Darth Vader.
I think by Jeff scoring, he's going to be 1 point.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he's worth 7, the same as Kenny Baker, because he's just in the suit the whole time. Alex, it's not like people don't know who these people are.
People don't know who these people are.
People don't know.
You two nerds knew exactly who these people were.
Because Darth Vader's
so 7 points. So 7 points for David Prowse, because yes, he is
Oh.
not the most famous half of the Darth Vader combo. If that helps you in understanding
So
how much
okay.
the other half is worth.
Where does Peter Mayhew land?
Is that your next guess?
Yeah.
Strike
Well,
him from
she's-
my list.
All right, he is slightly more. He is worth 9 points.
Why? Because he's taller?
People
listen.
know who the guy
Yeah.
who played Chewbacca ranks lower than Dave Prowse.
I agree. I know, like Peter Mayhew should be fewer points because he was
Okay,
even
fine.
in Force Awakens.
Hey, tell you what, I'll make him 7 points. Does everyone like that?
Listen, give Liana her points, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
your system is fucked.
Yeah, this
Dude,
I don't know
you
how this story works.
You gave more points for Artie Lang than you did for Matt Walsh and Elf, so you can shut your mouth.
Sure.
Everybody knows you were wrong.
That's
that
a
was
fair
wrong.
point.
Nobody talked about it.
People were texting me.
I'm
When-
still talking about it.
When
Yeah.
did Peter Mayhew retire as Chewbacca?
Basically, he did a couple of scenes in Force Awakens, but it was mostly Junis.
It was mostly, yeah.
I believe. And then
Okay.
Junis kind of took over from there
Right.
for all the Wookiees. He's
Okay.
every Wookiee.
Now I'm obsessed with figuring out the weighting system on Star Wars actors.
I would like you to know that I kind of like just make it up as I'm doing it. Like
All
there is
right.
no like I've got no machine I can put these movies in and it spits out numbers. It's really based on me and just how I feel about it.
All right.
It's all on vibes. It's all
It's all
vibes.
vibes.
We're trusting our feelings
I mean, you're in first place right now, so
and the
I would
faith
just
in
go with it.
y'all, my new friends, is my weakness. I'm getting
Yes.
it now. Okay, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. All right.
Crystal, we're
Mm.
back to you. You did pretty well with your last one with Walt Flanagan for 12 points. What's your third deep cut?
Well, I have another guess.
It's been working well for you.
Yeah, in the same sort of vein again with old Kev Smith. He's always putting his buddies in there. I'm gonna guess again because I'm killing it today with Scott Mosier.
Scott Mosier is in it, so he's also 12 points.
Nice.
Well done. The fact that you can remember these guys' names is really going to help you out.
Well, I listened to a lot of their podcasts back.
I was
then.
just gonna say.
Yeah.
Alex, you got your third deep cut, and then I'll give you a halfway point breakdown. What do you got?
I mean, a bunch from Star Wars, but I guess I'm gonna go Dogma instead because I feel like anybody
how
will be worth
Dare
more.
you?
The Cardinal who creates Buddy Christ himself is George Carlin.
George Carlin. Yes.
He's on my list.
George Carlin for 8 points.
George Carlin
Is
is
that
a
okay, Alex?
score?
I mean,
Not in it a
compared
lot.
to the other stars of that film, like there's some very famous
Yeah.
people in that movie.
Yeah.
But he's
there's
also he's
big
only got like
names to talk
one
about.
scene, right? Like he's got
right,
you know.
right.
So well done. 8 points, Alex. So at the halfway point, you have 29. Crystal, you have 33. And Liana, you have 31. So
Wow.
we've got a very close game within 4 points between first place and third place, and only 2 points separating everyone else. So that's good. I like that. Alex, what nerdy reference are you going to give me this time?
So we're back to Star Wars. And whether it's credited or not, I'm going to take a swing because your points are crazy. There's for sure a Wilhelm scream in it. So is Sheb Woolley credited in it?
I mean, so you're taking this swing.
I'm taking the swing because every time I don't guess Sheb Woolley, you're like, Alex, there's a Wilhelm. You should have guessed Sheb Woolley.
I didn't write it down, but let me double check, Alex. I just want to make sure that I
Because the
didn't
scream's
just-
in it for sure, whether the credit is or not.
It's not credited, Alex.
Son of a bitch. All right.
Mm.
This game is stupid. Good night, everybody. I'm out.
I mean, you know the rules. If it's not IMDb, I can't help you. But hey, man, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Crystal, you're in first place. What's your fourth deep cut?
Again, this is happening.
Crystal, you've only been on the show like 5 times.
Listen, it just still throws me for a loop. Okay. The rest are just I'm stuck on Dogma, I gotta be honest. The other two. I
That's
just
fine.
don't
Hey, it's
remember at
working.
all. But the rest are just like so big. They're such big stars. I guess. Yeah. I guess I'll go with Selma Hayek in Dogma.
Yes, as she works at she's a stripper. What is her crap? What is she's like a she's something. She's something. But Selma Hayek
She is something.
For 6 points.
Okay, that's not so bad.
It's not bad. It's not bad. All right, Liana. There are 6 rounds total. You're on your 4th round.
All right.
What is your
See,
fourth
I
deep
don't
cut?
know how to rank. Bob Hoskins was in Hook, wasn't he?
You're just asking me, are you giving that as a guess?
He was
I mean,
me.
I don't want to say any, like,
Yeah,
I mean,
he was me in Hook, and then he was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and he was in a bunch of other things, and I think he's a big name, but I don't know about this, so I'll go with him, because I know he's less of a big star than the 2 top billings in Hook.
he is. So he has 5 points for Bob.
All right, there we go.
Because, yes, he is, I believe, Hook's, like, right-hand man, officially, so yes.
Yeah, because it's me. That's in the movie, yeah.
See, you're doing great, and you said you didn't know movies, but you're crushing it. So what is your 5th deep cut? You've just given us Bob Hoskins. Can you think of anyone else in that movie that isn't one of the big 3?
See, everybody else in Hook is like a huge star. Except for the kids, and I don't remember their names.
Yes, and I will tell you this: there's like 9 incredible cameos in Hook.
And I'm not remembering. Well, I remember one, but she's a huge name. Okay, I have to find this out. I have to see how Alan Rickman rates on Dogma.
He's 5 points.
Oh, so he's about the same. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, he less screen time than Selma Hayek. Obviously, a bigger part. He's not entirely. He's not in the movie the entire way, but he is in it.
Metatron, right?
Metatron, the voice of God.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad one. Crystal. What is your 5th deep cut?
I was sitting here trying to think of the other friend that Kevin Smith always puts in his movies. The guy with the beard. And it finally came to me. And let's just hope he's in there. It's Brian Johnson.
Brian Johnson, yeah. He's going to be slightly less than some of the other Kevin Smith friends because he is a little bit more well-known because he is... what's his name in Clerks?
Dante in Clerks, isn't it?
Dante in Clerks. So
star of Clerks.
He is worth 10 points.
That's still great.
Still pretty good.
Dang.
Alex, you have your 5th and 6th. You're going to need something big here after that big X on Sheb Woolley.
Well, who knows if I have them, Jeff? Only you. The power lays in your hands. I'm taking my last 2 guesses from Star Wars, which is Peter Cushing.
Yes. Peter Cushing. 9 points.
Great. Shocking that he is worth more because he's super famous.
He is to a very but I also try to rank the points as though it's not just a Star Wars fan. Like
sure, but he's in like all the Hammer films. Like he's an actor from things.
Yeah, who's watched those, Alex?
Who's watched other things Kenny Baker is in? Anyway, Anthony Daniels. Give me Anthony Daniels. What's he? 4 points.
He's the same as Kenny Baker. He is 7 points. Insane. Just because you've met him at Comic-Cons doesn't mean... I've not met
Anthony Daniels.
Okay, I'm just going to say, like, other people might not know who these people are.
I saw him narrate the Star Wars Symphony.
Oh, that's cool as hell.
He was spectacular. Yeah, he was really, really good.
Crystal, I think you're in the lead, and you've got your final deep cut. Don't blow it.
I'm gonna blow it.
No pressure.
Yeah. I can't think of anything deep, so I'm gonna say Chris Rock.
Chris Rock, that's not bad for Dogma. Just under same as Alan Rickman. So he's 5 points.
5.
I mean, there's a lot of people in that movie.
A lot of people.
Liana, you've got a chance here. You've got a chance. No one has said either of the people that are in more than one film either. One of them.
Yeah, I can't.
Either of them would win the game for you, for sure. And they're not like unknown people either. Just gonna say that.
See, I feel like just doing science again and going with the person who was the biggest name when Star Wars came out. But now I don't know based on this post, Alec Guinness.
Yeah. He's not going to do it for you. He's not in any other films. He is worth 4 points.
Okay. Interesting. Do we get to find out who these crossover actors are?
Oh,
at the
for
end?
sure,
Oh, okay.
for sure.
Oh,
Okay, so obviously nobody said the big three from Star Wars, but had you said Carrie Fisher, she is in Hook. She is on the bridge kissing someone. That someone she is kissing is George Lucas.
What?
George Lucas and Carrie Fisher are both in Hook.
Hilarious.
Uncredited roles. They're kissing on a bridge somewhere in London. So Carrie Fisher would have gotten you actually 19 points.
I did not know
for Star
that.
Wars. Let's see. Anything else from Star Wars? William Hootkins, Red 6, Alex. He's also in Raiders of the Lost Ark. He's the guy that comes to Indiana Jones at the beginning and is like, we've got some Nazis. We want you to go find this Raiders of the Lost Ark. He's kind of Porkins is his name.
Oh, okay.
Porkins.
What's he? 4 points?
No, he would have been 12 points. Agnes McInnes, Alex, Gold Leader. We just talked about it a few weeks ago. He was in Witness. He's the guy that gets caught in the grain silo with all the corn that falls on him in Witness. James Earl Jones obviously wouldn't be worth much, but famous director Joe Johnston is in Star Wars, Alex. And I think you remember that, don't you?
I do not.
Yeah. No? Okay. He was a young man. He was in that. Let's see.
A young man.
Robin Williams, Dustin Hoffman, Julia Roberts would have been your big ones from Hook. Maggie Smith is the grandmother, or like old Wendy. I think she's actually like old Wendy, isn't she?
Oh,
yeah.
She's Wendy. That's right.
Phil Collins.
Like the Phil Collins?
The Phil Collins, as well as David Crosby, Glenn Close, and Jimmy Buffett are some very obscure people in that. Let's see. Anyone else big? Dustin Hoffman's two sons are in it. One is young Peter, and the other one's just playing baseball. And then from the OC, as Pete's mom is Kelly Rowan, which I don't remember her being in that. And then from Dogma, of course, your Ben Affleck's, your Matt Damon's, and Linda Fiorentino. The other half of the God is Bud Cort, which would have been worth more points than Alanis Morissette. Brian O'Halloran is one of the other Kevin Smith buddies. Janine Garofalo works at the abortion clinic with the lead, Linda Fiorentino. Jason Lee would have been worth some points as the demon that set it all off. Another one of Kevin Smith's friends is Jeff Anderson. And then you could have, and Ming Chen, who's also in the comic book guys. And then Ethan Suplee.
Quality.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other crossover, who plays young Wendy in Hook? Anybody? Anyone? Gwyneth Paltrow.
Really?
No way.
Who also has, she's young Wendy. She also has an uncredited scene in the airport in Dogma. So she could have won the game for you. That is deep. But let's see who won here. Alex, you had 29 points at the half. You picked up 16 points in the second half to give you 45. Liana, you were in second place with 31. You picked up 14 in the second half to finish with 45. Wow. Is that right? Yeah. 31.
You're doing the math, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
45, 29, 16. Yeah, you're tied at 45, but it all doesn't matter because Crystal, you had 33 points and you picked up 21 in the second half to finish with 54 points.
Wow. Well done.
Whoa.
Congratulations, Crystal.
This is my first victory ever.
Is it really? And you nerded out these other two nerds by naming a bunch of other nerds. Congratulations. Crystal, you've never gotten this to do this before. Who would you like to see as a future guest on Deep Cuts the Game?
I'm going to give you guys an easy one to get.
Okay.
And I'm going to say Jonah Hill.
Thanks, Crystal.
Because nobody else wants to work with them? Like, why don't just give me James Franco? Like, holy crap.
No, we don't want him.
Okay, yeah. Jonah Hill it is.
Yeah, no problem.
No problem. Crystal, what's going on in your world? What's coming up?
My day job is taking up a very large and inconsiderate amount of my time. And so, nothing.
Okay.
Going on.
All right. right.
Woo.
Liana, we heard a bit about your podcast. Remind people where they can find you and what you've got going on.
It's called It's Not Therapy. It's on Saga 960 AM in the Mississauga/Toronto area. Then It's Not Therapy is wherever you get your podcasts. And I do a segment overnight on The Rock out of Oshawa called Getting Through the Night. It's another mental health segment. So if you're listening to the radio late at night or you just want something to listen to, I'm just logging my 120th episode of It's Not Therapy. Wow. So there's lots to listen to. Yeah.
Nice.
Very nice. And people can find you. Are you on any socials where people can connect with you? I know we connected on Facebook, which seems very old school. But
everybody's on Facebook. It is still the social media. I'm either Red Liana K casually, though I use that less and less, or at Not Therapy Show on socials. That one, that's more active because that's the more professional account. I'm trying not to post as myself much anymore because I don't like getting in trouble. So fair enough. We just keep it safe lately. The edgiest I get is talking about Hook. In public. I don't know if you guys remember that came out how controversial Julia Roberts was as Tinkerbell. Like
Tinkerbell?
Oh,
I kind of do, yeah.
Oh, everybody was so mad at that. I don't get it.
Was it because she had just been like Pretty Woman or something like that? Like, what was their deal with her? Or did they?
Probably.
Yeah.
I think the whole thing about Hook was it was an adult Peter Pan and the whole idea of the boy who never grew up. But Dustin Hoffman was excellent as Hook. I don't care what anybody says. He was having fun.
I don't think I had any issues with Dustin Hoffman as Hook. He's my favorite pirate, right up there with De Niro in Stardust as William Shakespeare.
Also great in that movie.
Yeah.
Jason Isaacs played Captain Hook in another version of Peter Pan, didn't he?
Yeah, because there was a bunch after where it was like a young Peter Pan, and there might have just been.
There's one not long ago.
Yeah, it's not really my jam.
Anybody saw.
Yeah, it's not my jam. Alex, what's going on in your world? Physical media, review cinema, places like that?
Yeah, man,
What's
you got it. All that. Review, Fox, Paradise. There's some great local rep cinemas in Toronto. Check them out if you're in the area. If you're not in Toronto, jump on the internet, find out what's going on in your city. There's undoubtedly something. Some local theater doing something cool. So support it. Check it out. Go see movies in theater. Buy your movies physically. The end.
Cool. And with me, nothing. Absolutely nothing except for whatever this outro is that Alex is sending me right now.
So it's been sent. Here's your direction for this one.
Okay.
So and we're going to set the scene, which is basically you're a kid who is walking distance from school and every school bus has been canceled, but the school is still open. So your mom is making you go, but you're trying to like justify, you're basically trying to talk your way into staying home for snow day.
Okay.
So you're not like super whiny about it, but you do have like, you're trying to like really pitch your mom on this.
Whiny about it, but okay.
I mean, do whatever you want, man.
Okay. I think I got it. Just based on the first couple lines here, I know exactly what to do with it.
Great.
And hopefully you guys will get what I'm going for here. Listen. Are you listening? So every bus is canceled, which means no bus kids will be there. And that's like literally 99% of the school. None of my friends will be there today. Not Crystal, not Liana, not even Alex. And he's going to be prom king. It's not fair that I have to go just because we live close. Mom, Cheryl, let me stay home. And I promise I'll do homework while I listen to Deep Cuts on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. I don't even care which one. Fine. I guess that's it then. See you in a week. Thanks, everyone. Bye.